The government's family home tax is regressive and it's an ill-thought-out piece of legislation. It should more properly be called the pretence of improving local democracy by empowering local authorities to raise revenue on behalf of government bill. And just like the household charge before it, Sinn Féin have campaigned against this legislation. At a time when 1 in 4 mortgage holders are in distress, it makes no economic sense to place a tax on people's homes. Up and down the country, you have families who are literally on the breadline, trying to pay mortgages on homes that are in negative equity, paying for their children's education, keeping their heads above water. If you want an indicator how much families are in distress, then just look at the figures last week, which showed that 20,000 families were disconnected from electricity and gas in the year 2012. That's a startling figure. And now, those very same families have had the burden of this tax placed on their shoulders. Has the government considered how much money this tax will suck out of the local economy? The law of economics tells you that the less disposable income people have in their pockets, the less they're able to spend in the real economy. How many jobs in the retail sector could the government have potentially stunted by the implementation of this tax? How many small and medium businesses which depend on local consumers could be severely hurt by this tax? And next year and the year after it doubles at least, plus water charges and whatever other mean-spirited tax and cuts this government can think of, and all to pay reckless financial gamblers. Government laws those who have already paid the tax, as if they were happy or even delighted and anxious to do so. Yes, many people have paid this tax, but they've been forced to cut back on other bills and expenses because of it. Revenue is feared and respected, and the decision to allow revenue to raid social welfare payments and pensions is a draconian measure that is designed to intimidate families and has done so. Now, some of those on the government benches, and indeed just now, will try and accuse Sinn Féin of hypocrisy. They will argue that we support a similar based system in the 6 counties. However, domestic rates in the 6 counties are a very different proposition. Rates in the north cover a range of public services, including education, emergency services, health, housing, roads, water and sewerage. The Stormont Assembly, additionally, has inherited a fiscal regime in the north where tax varying powers and fiscal levers are still maintained by Westminster. Sinn Féin wants fiscal independence from London. And instead of snide comments by government spokespersons here, can we have your support in taking control over our fiscal regime, please? The Stormont Assembly, additionally, has passed a bill which would allow the business rate system in the north to be restructured. It would mean that smaller businesses would pay less and bigger industry would pay more in light of the current economic climate. And in all the government's debate about the family home tax, there's nothing about reducing business rates on small local businesses and industry. Do you care so little about maintaining jobs in our local communities? Sinn Féin are asking all deputies in this chamber to support our piece of legislation repealing the family home tax and refunding those who have paid this illicit charge. In the financial hardship that many of your constituents now face, it is the right thing to do, and your constituents are watching.